This was me a year ago, but now after searching and experimenting a lot in past 3 to 4 months and watching interviews after interviews of big creators, I'm seeing this kind of results on my thumbnails. And in this video, I will show you how to literally psychologically force people to click on your video. So grab your pencil and paper and go full screen because it's a full cascade of knowledge. Pay attention guys, there are only 3 steps to making people click on your video. Step 1, stop the scroll. Step 2, make it interesting. Step 3, get clicks. You may say, oh, it's so simple, I can do that. Keep quiet. This is not as simple as you think. There are a bunch of videos with great thumbnails that are vying for the same attention that you want. Do you really think a person who spent $5,000 on one thumbnail, you will outcompete him with this kind of attitude? Just tell me in the comments. You will outcompete him? Obviously not.
What you invest per thumbnail?
Yeah, well, we probably spend around $5,000 to $10,000 a thumbnail, just making sure we get the right image and it's good.
In this video, I will show you how to stop scrolling the viewer and make that thumbnail much more interesting and appealing so that people feel stupid not clicking on your video. Step 1. How to stop the scroll. There are 7 ways you can use to stop the scroll of viewer, and I am 100% sure that you may know 2 to 3 of them. And also in last, I will give you a trick that you can use right now in your next video that will help you literally pause the viewer. Let's learn the first way. Add unexpected things. It means to have novelty things in your thumbnails. Things that are never known to humankind. Mr. Who's the Boss thumbnails are the best examples of these type of thumbnails. Look at this thumbnail. Turn your smartphone into a 3D hologram. This thumbnail is completely new to humankind. And you know how many views he got? 25 million views. Just imagine how many people stop to view this. The second method is to use faces. We humans are intrinsically drawn to human faces because it feels natural. And there are a bunch of creators who uses their faces in their thumbnails. And most knowingly Mr. Beast. And it works pretty well. The next way is to use caveat or danger. Our ancestors lived in the environments teeming with danger. Constant vigilance was necessary for them to avoid becoming prey for larger or deadlier animals. Those ancestral experiences built a threat detection system in our mind that makes us attentive when we see any dangerous thing like a ferocious lion. Look at these examples. How this wallpaper kills your smartphone. 7 days stranded at sea. Both these thumbnails are spiking threat detection system in our mind. That makes people stop to watch what is going to happen next. The fourth way to pause the viewer while scrolling is to use glowing themes, but don't overuse it so that it acts the viewer's mind and eyes. You can also use emotional faces which explicitly trigger emotion in us. The second last method is to add cash. I don't have to tell you that how much motivational money is. People are inevitably drawn to large numbers, and when we add a money sign to it, it's a 100% win for us. And our final last way is to break the pattern. Before I explain that, tell me in the comments out of which thumbnail stand out from the rest. Just tell me, I'm waiting. Most will say this. Do you want to know why? Because this thumbnail went against the pattern of 99% of thumbnails in its niche. While everybody was using the same type of pattern, this thumbnail broke it and stood out. Now finally, it's time for a trick that will help you get psychological control over the audience and make them click on your video, which is give people what they want the most. For instance, in self-improvement niche, it is height and hair fall. Most bald and short people are very insecure, and if you make a video on it, and I'm giving you 100% credit that people will watch it. In YouTube growth niche, it is monetization. In finance niche, it is how to be rich in 30 days or how to make $10,000 per month with this secret business model. These kind of topics that people want the most are the best scroll stoppers in the YouTube world. But what's the point of making people pause while scrolling if your thumbnails are not interesting enough to click on them? It's like stopping your crush but can't be able to speak a word, and then she slaps you.
No, Jan, please, I need to. You truly make me the happiest person on earth.
Don't worry, your brother is here to help you. Part 2. Make it interesting. There are 2 steps to creating interesting thumbnails, and at the end I will share you a bonus trick that will help you get free captivating thumbnail templates, and I personally use it. But before we get to that, let's understand the first point. Add curiosity. I ain't gonna tell you like other YouTube gurus, guys, add curiosity, use psychology. This guy, me, is going to tell you how to add curiosity and make your thumbnails much more intriguing and appealing so that people feel themselves as in they're not clicking at it. And if they don't click it, it becomes a nightmare to them until they finally watch your video. Obviously, this first step also has 5 points, among which the third one is my favorite one. But first of all, give all of your attention to the first point. Give results. If you want to be a YouTuber and you are making content online, you at least one time have imagined getting millions of views on your video, going to interviews and bragging about yourself. And I am 100% sure you have imagined it. And at that time you are experiencing excitement and anticipation, and this excitement leads to a sense of motivation and drive to achieve those desired results. There were a bunch of questions in your mind mind and you are motivated. Apply the same thing to your thumbnails and make the audience imagine the results they will achieve. This will give them excitement and an itch to scratch. As a result, they will click on your video. Watch this thumbnail. I made a secret YouTube channel to prove it's not luck. He uses results on his thumbnails and racked up more than 4 million views. Another one. If you are under 1000 YouTube subs, do this now. Results. While adding results spike excitement, there is another way to make your thumbnail interesting. Transformation. It is like a big brother of the first point. But in this type, you not only add results to your thumbnail, but there is an addition of one more thing. Beginning state. But remember, beginning state that you will use should always be relatable to your target audience. And I used this tactic in one of my videos on my gaming channel. And look, it got raving 7.1 CTR. I also used this trick for this video. And the results are clear. Not bad for a 2-month-old channel. While transformation thumbnails choose two psychological techniques, beginning state and results, my favorite one is challenging the viewer. When you challenge someone's belief or faith, it may initially seem negative thing, because it can hurt their ego, obviously. However, it's not necessarily a bad thing. In fact, being a bit polarizing can work in your favor. What is the purpose of your thumbnail? The purpose of your thumbnail is to grab attention and evoke emotions. That's when the magic happens. Take Johnny Harris for instance. We know that olive oil is widely considered healthy, but he goes against the grain by calling it a scam. Now this sparks curiosity and even a bit of anger in viewers. And guess what? They click on the video to find out more. So remember, a little controversy can be a powerful tool, but don't let your content be emotionless. Give it that spike of emotion and watch those clicks roll in. Another way to add flavor of intrigue to your thumbnails is by adding a story to them. And this is mostly used by Mr. Beast. We humans are naturally drawn to stories, and adding a compelling narrative to your thumbnails can work wonders. Think of your thumbnail as a sneak peek into a fascinating tale. Whether it's a successful cliffhanger or an intriguing setup, a well-crafted story can ignite curiosity and encourage viewers to click. After all, thumbnails are like the cover of a book. They hint at the adventure waiting inside. So add a story, spark curiosity, and watch your audience dive in. The final way to add curiosity to your thumbnails is by posing questions in your thumbnails. Questions can be explicit or implicit. At this point, a lot of work has been done to your thumbnails. You have learned how to stop people while scrolling and how to add curiosity to your thumbnails, which makes people click on your video. But if you stuck at this point, which I'm going to tell you, bro, what's the point of making people stop? And this point is designing. All we have learned at this point was theoretical, which is no doubt very necessary, but it's like gathering ingredients for a smoothie. Now we need a blender, a design blender to whip it all into a shape. Number one thing you have to consider when it comes to designing a thumbnail is less is more. Aim for 3 or 4 key elements, no more. Too many elements can overwhelm viewers. Remember, people's attention spans are shorter nowadays. Keep it simple and easy to process. This rule is used by a top YouTuber, Ryan Tarahan. Take a look at his thumbnail. There are only 2 to 3 elements, and what's interesting is that you can read and understand it at any scale. The second thing to keep in mind is to add contrast. There are a bunch of ways you can add contrast to your thumbnails by having contrasting colors and making your thumbnails as high quality as possible. We have successfully covered all these steps of stopping the scroll and making thumbnails as intriguing as possible. Now it's time to tell you the trick to get verified thumbnail templates, which is stealing other thumbnails. I'm not saying to you that literally put other thumbnails to your video. I mean to pick up a thumbnail from any niche channel that did well and then try to make your thumbnail with the same pattern, altering only 2 to 3 things in it. Presumably you replace their face with your face or change something else according to your video. After that, congratulations, your verified thumbnail is ready. You may think it's the end of the video, but there is one more thing you have to consider while finalizing your thumbnail, which is testing it. Is it easy to digest? Does it stand out in my niche? Do people get curious about what's inside at a glance? The answer to all these questions is ClickPilot, which is a tool you can use to see and test your thumbnails. I also use it. The link is in the description. Watch this video to learn how to increase impressions in your YouTube videos.